Alright lads, so in less than 12 hours time, we're going to be getting the Revelation Summon Successor featuring Ichigo, Tensa Zangetsu, and also Isshin. And of course, as always, in this video, we're here to break down the banner, letting you lads know everything you need to know in regards to these 3 new characters and the banner in general. That way, you can make a better decision before you do summon on this banner. Now, right from the get-go, let's talk about, is this banner worth summoning on? And in my opinion, it definitely is. These 3 new characters coming to the game are some of the best in what they want to do, and it's actually tied to a pretty decent banner format. It's a 25 step-up format. It's a usual banner format, but what we have been seeing in the last basically, 8 or so months, is that whenever some of the best characters come into the game, for example, 7th Anniversary, 1000 Year Blood War round 15, 16, and of course also the Spirits Arthur and With You End of Year banner, they featured some of the best and highlight characters of the year. However, it was on a 7-step banner. It's not really the greatest format, we all agree to that. So it's kind of a nice change of pace to get 3 new broken characters, some really exciting characters too, on a normal banner. Every 5th step, you're guaranteed a 5-star, which means you have a decent chance of walking away with some of these new characters, right? So that's one thing I want to say in regards to this banner before we start talking about all the other stuff. But having a look at the availability time, again, the banner is going out tomorrow morning. For me, it's 7 AM and will be lasting until the 12th of March. Unfortunately, because we're getting a rerun epic raid, we don't know what banners are set to come out this month in terms of reruns. But on the 5th of March, we are going to be getting Senkamon, so that's another 500 orbs to put back into this banner if you really want to. But this banner in question is bringing 3 new characters, the first one being one of the more exciting characters of the year, the renewed version of Ichigo, aka Quincy Ichigo Remake. Now, this renewed version of Ichigo is a technique no affiliation character with the Hollow and also Human Kill ability. Having 2 killers is always great. It's going to increase its usability in content like Inheritance Trials, for example, and Hollow Killer is a very good killer. It's been a minute since we have received a new powerful technique Hollow Killer, so him having that's actually really good. In addition to that too, Human Killer, while obviously less ideal, we rarely see human enemies, they are starting to become a tad bit more common, and the current IT session that we do have right now does feature human enemies, so therefore this Ichigo is going to be really ideal in content like Inheritance Trials, like the current one that we have right now. Now, this Ichigo is going to be an SP-based character, so you want to do damage on his strong attacks, and the skills that he does have back that up by a massive amount. One could even argue a bit too much. In this case, with Frenzy +2 and a 40% Berserker, this character also does 20% more damage when at full stamina, with an additional 20% strong attack damage that he gives to your entire team if you are a technique character. Frenzy +2 with a 20% full stam and also 60% Berserker is already great to begin with, but then this character also comes with the status element Spiritual Pressure Boost plus 80%. So when you do inflict a status element, you get an 80% boost to your Spiritual Pressure stat. That in of itself is broken. It's probably the hardest hitting character in the entire game, almost the likes we've never seen before, because this character also does have an increased chance to inflict status elements against any speed enemy. And it doesn't even end there, because he also does have weakening and drain on every single attack. So what this does mean is that this character is going to be hitting super hard. Unfair amounts of damage in my opinion. And then to go alongside that too, he's going to easily be able to stay at full stamina thanks to the drain, weaken the enemies constantly thanks to his increased chance of inflicting a status element, which is then going to land to do even more damage. With Sprinter +2, 20% Havoc, Debilitator, and also Sharpshooter, this character is without a doubt one of the most broken characters in the entire game. And he also does come with a new skill where every time you enter another map, you reduce your technique character's strong attack damage by 20%. It's unknown how good this skill is going to be. It's more so like a nice little addition to the character. But in terms of DPS and also survivability, this character is stacked to the absolute brim. So if you were ever looking to have fun with Quincy Ichigo, something that you'd never been able to do despite this character existing for 5 years now, this new version of him is definitely going to be that. He has some really cool visuals, some good strong attacks, and an amazing set of skills. He's without a doubt one of the better characters in the entire game. And the same can also be said for Tensa Zangetsu. In this case, Zangetsu is a speed Soripa with the Soripa kill ability. Really good killer here. It has been a while since we received a powerful speed character with the Soripa killer, and I guess in Tensa Zangetsu's case, his killer really doesn't matter because he is also stacked to the absolute brim. With a great set of strong attacks, Frenzy +1, and also a 60% Berserker, he then gets even more powerful due to the fact that he also has damage to enemies not afflicted by a status element plus 100%. So damage-wise, he is going to be hitting a very hard, very similar to 1000 Year Blood War round 16 Ichigo. But in co-op content, he then starts to get even more powerful since he then does 30% more melee damage. And just like Ichigo, this character can also hit hidden enemies and also pierce his Iron Skin. This without a doubt already makes him one of the better characters in the entire game, especially for the speed attribute, since his damage numbers are going to be super high and consistently high, and then you also go through a mechanic that makes inheritance trials a lot tougher, that being Iron Skin. So this basically makes him one of the better farmers for AIT content, and that's great because I didn't even mention the main purpose for this character is that he also does have 3 skills that increases the droplet drop rate by 30%, the power link shot potions by +5, and also super power link shot potions by +5. So in a way, the best way to look at this character is that he's 1000-year blood with Ichigo's strength and strong attacks, and also 1000-year blood with Uryu's farming utility, both combined into one character, making him, again, debatable best speed character in the entire game. This character is ridiculous, and the fact it's a premium Tensa Zangetsu is very, very surprising. If you want a fun speed character that's going to just dominate content, this Tensa's for you, especially if you're looking to farm, epic raids and also inheritance trials. This character is going to be doing that, and he also lines up perfectly in inheritance trials and also epic raids, as he does have some good synergy with Swimsuit Retsu, New Year's Ichigo, who are both going to be used in epic raids, and also Akon, who you will see in epic raids and also inheritance trials. So this Zangetsu is going to be a great addition to the game and a great and high valued character to pick up in this particular banner. And then lastly, we have the brave battle character of the banner, that being Isshin. And Isshin is a power swiper with the swiper killer ability. Isshin is best described as a counter to the current SP meta, while also holding up quite well against the current captain meta, and also being a counter to a character that's most recently started to see some usage, that being Oko. The great thing about this Isshin is that he himself is not a captain, so most people won't have killer against him, and him having the swiper killer is actually more relevant as we start to see more non-captains in the meta. Swiper killer is good against Oko, it's good against most recent SP characters that you see in Brave Battles, and it's also great against the captains that you do see because they are also classed as swipers. And the reason why I'm mentioning he's an SP character counter is because he does have the following set of skills. Ignore Brave Battle Invincibility, making him relevant against non-SP characters, but the most important skill here is that he does have temporary invincibility. So for the first 10 seconds in the game, he is taking no damage unless a character does have Ignore Brave Battle Invincibility. Alongside that, with Prevent Brave Battle Healing, Flurry +2, and also 50% Bruiser, this character is also going to be hitting quite hard, but since he does have Invincibility, it means he's going to be a prime character to use to go against any SP teams, since he will pretty much solo most triple SP teams, while at the same time being a pretty good character against the current captain meta. And to enforce this counter to the SP characters, Isshin can also inflict Lacerate, which by the way he does 60% more damage to, but Lacerate, in case you don't know, actually stops characters from using their strong attacks, so it's going to make potentially going against SP characters even easier. He essentially has every skill that a Brave Battle character could want, and he's definitely usable outside of Brave Battles, so if you are an Isshin fan, you can also get a usage of him outside of Brave Battles. But for the most part, he's going to be a great character to go against Oko, the current SP meta, and will also hold up quite well against the current captain characters. Overall, he has a definite place in the meta, which I'm perfectly fine because it's been a while since I've used an Isshin, and Isshin has never been relevant in Brave Battles, so I'm happy to see him make his mark in the game. As for the banner itself, it does only feature premium characters, but these are some of the better ones for the most part. In this case, Kagarosa, really good in the Range Noah Affiliation Guild Quest, and also a very powerful Nat character in the Arena game modes. Oko, we already talked about, unfortunately is hard countered by Isshin, but that's fine because that doesn't stop Oko from doing what he wants to do, and that is countering the current captain meta. We showcased him already at 3 out of 5. He's a great character in the way he was designed, because for the most part, he has a 50% chance to dodge captains, and with counterattack and Brave Battle counter, anytime a captain character hits him, it's reflecting damage back to them. This allows him to make quick work of any captain, and that makes him a very good character for this current meta, despite having a now existing counter that is Isshin. But then again, Oko's never been hard to deal with. You just don't put a captain against him, and that's never stopped him from being good, so I don't think this Isshin is going to really hurt Oko that much. Rose is very similar to Kagarosa. However, Rose is also a 30% normal attack damage soul trait, so a pretty good soul trait for Nat characters. Definitely usable in normal PvE content, especially the range story per guild quests. But just like Kagarosa, this Rose is a arena character, so he's really good in arena if you want to use him there. That's where you're going to get most of the usage out of him. Burika, very similar character, a ranged Nat character with guard break, definitely can be used in a lot of different content, and since she's a human, she can be used in Sankamon for maybe a certain stage. But I guess the best thing about her is that she is a 30% droplet character, getting you those speed droplets. So that's really good in content like Enriched Droplet Zone. She actually can be quite a tanky character, and with immunities to poison and also burn, she makes for a good auto lead in Enriched Droplet Zone. But Yakia is going to be an SP character, money designed for the arena game modes. Nothing super crazy anymore, doesn't really hold up that well, but can be used. And Noitora, you're not really going to use that much. He can be used, sure, he's a no affiliation character, does more damage to lacerated enemies, but that's really about it. The only place I ever use him is in Senkamon, because he does have a certain stage designed for him. So the banner itself is decent. Besides the Byakuya and also Noitora, I think all of these characters hold some value here, especially the top 5 from Ichigo all the way to Oko. These are going to be like the main 5 characters you want to pick up in this particular banner. As mentioned, the great thing about this banner is that it is a pretty exciting banner with some very powerful characters that also is a normal step-up format. So step 1, 6, 11, 16, and 21 are discounted at 150 orbs, while step 2, 7, 12, 17, and 22 are discounted at 200 orbs. Every 5th step guarantees you a featured 5-star, which of course includes one of these 9 characters. So overall, I think this is a good banner. The 3 main characters here, Ichigo, Tensa, and also Isshin, are enough to get you to summon. They're without a doubt some of the better characters in the entire game, and are definitely going to hold up for a very long time. Ichigo is a remake of a very popular design that we've been wanting to play as for the last 5 years, that the original version unfortunately just never allowed us to do. And the fact that he comes with some ridiculous survivability and also damage output is making him to be one of the more fun characters in the game. Tensa Zangetsu is the best farming character in the game, and Isshin is a great counter to the current meta in Brave Battles. So these 3 characters are definitely worth summoning for, but again, it comes down to you. One thing a lot of people will say about this banner is that they are premium characters, which therefore means they will be featured in like 6 or so months time in the future banners, potentially the anniversary. They also can be obtained from summon tickets, so if your reason for not summoning on this banner is that they are premium and you can get them later on, sure, by all means, don't summon. That's a valid reason not to summon. However, if you don't care about that, these are still great high value characters. They are worth summoning on, even on this current banner, which just goes to show how great they are because, again, it is a premium banner. This banner features no limited characters, yet I'm saying it's a banner worth summoning on, so that should go to show how powerful these characters actually are. In my case, though, I am more so those players in the former situation where they are premium, so I'm not going to go that deep on my main account because I'm more so saving for the limited characters like Burn the Witch, 1000 Year Blood War, Spirit Off OU, for example. But even then, I'm definitely tempted to at least throw 7 steps on this banner because it's just that good. These 3 characters are great, and I want to try and pick up at least one of them in a limited amount of balls. On my auto account, though, I'm probably going to do like 15 plus steps because I want all 3 of them. They're great. So in the comments below, let me know your summer plan and how you plan to attempt this particular banner. Remember, there are also going to be individual banners. In this case, Tensa's coming out on the 12th to the 18th with these 3 characters. Isshin will be from the 18th to the 24th with these 3 characters. And Ichigo's will be from the 24th to the 30th with these 3 characters. So as always, it always comes down to you if you want to summon, but I personally do recommend it despite it being a premium banner. These characters are great, and they're definitely setting up to be some of the more fun characters in the entire game. With that said, hope you liked and enjoyed the video. I'll see you lads next time. Take care and peace.